Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to install this side turn signals. It's not that painful, but there's a couple of things that could make it be a little bit more difficult than it should be. Hopefully this will help you out and make it a little easier. So in order to get to these puppies, you're gonna have to take this mirror cap off. There's some clips right behind the mirror. I believe it's 3 or 4 of them, and once you push them out, just wiggle this out and you'll have access to this little guy. Already taken off the driver's side, and here is the little clips I was telling you about. It's 3 of them, and it's right behind the mirror. I took mine off because I was just not able to get a screwdriver or enough pressure to take this off, because there's this little guy right here and it's really hard to get to it. I think it's like a locking mechanism. It's just keeping the cap from being removed, and I couldn't get to it without removing this mirror. I've seen some people do it without removing the mirror. I wasn't able to do that, but hopefully the way I showed you is just as simple. It just requires a little bit more, one more step, which is removing the mirror cap. Now, the ways I've seen people remove the glass was by putting something to pry from the back and just push it as hard as you can until it comes off. But I mean, I was pushing really hard on it, and it just felt like I was gonna break this. So I'm gonna show you I don't know if it's a faster way, but definitely a safer way to remove this glass. Alright, so what I ended up doing is, if you look at the glass itself, this is how it's attached to it. Is this clips going all around it, and what I did was I grabbed some wire I had laying around, and I just put it right around it, just like that. And if you want, you can use a screwdriver to come from the side and just kind of hold the wire there. And once you have it there, all you gotta do is just pull on it, and it should release it right away. And then you just repeat that maybe 2 or 3 more times, and it'll pop out. Alright, so I'm gonna do the first one. You can barely see it. Sorry, I don't have a flashlight. Camera doesn't really pick it up. But right behind here is the first 2. I'm gonna take the wire, I'm gonna put it right through it, get a nice hole on it, and just pull on it until it pops out. Alright, so right now I have it in there, and all I'm gonna do, give me a second. All I'm gonna do is just pull, and there you go. That side, there you go. Now this side, the clips have been released, and I'm just gonna repeat that across until I can finally pull the mirror off. Forgot to mention, you'll know it's off when you can kind of wiggle it like that. See how the clip, both of them are focus. Yeah, that's when you know they're off. And if your wired that you're using doesn't want to stay, like you pull on it and it keeps on slipping, what I would do is, once you have it in there, sorry I only have one hand, but once you have it in there, right, and you can make it hook around both sides, you can grab your pry bar and just keep the wire in place as you pull, and just keep repeating it until you get it right. Alright, so we did the top. Now we're gonna do the bottom. Same deal. Around this area right here, just take your wire, hook it around the two clips, pull, and carry on. Alright, so this bottom one was a little hard. The wire kept slipping off the clips, but like I said, if you take your pry bar and you push against the wire as you're pulling out, you should be able to get it. Just keep trying. It's not that bad, or so they say. Alright, so guys, so we almost have it out. As you can see, I'm gonna go for this one. You could go for the bottom one, but I feel it's too close to the door. I'm gonna go for this one. I feel it's a lot easier to get to. Now, before you do the last clip, you might want to put some tape or a bag or something, because once you pull that last guy, it might just come flying off, and yeah, not a good idea. Alright, there you go. I got the last one. And now this puppy should just come right off. There we go. And when you guys put the wire, make sure that it catches the clips. Those are the two on the end, and not this little guy standing up. If your wire is pulling here, you're doing nothing. Make sure you grab the clips on both sides. Hence why you might need the pry bar to keep the wire from sliding, because this is at an angle. The clips are slightly on an angle. So just push the wire down with your pry bar or screwdriver or whatever, so you can keep the wire down and pull it right out. And now we have access to the clips, and this is why I took the glass off. I've seen people being able to do it without it. They get a little hook and they can just slide this guy out. I didn't have anything small enough to do that, hence why I had to take the mirror off. But once you have it off, let's see if I can do it well. Once you have it off, I can't really see it. There's the little lock. There's a little lock there. You pull it out, and then you can get to all three tabs. And here it is. That little guy was in. There we go. That little guy was in here. You just gotta pull it out, and you'll have access to the clip that's behind here. You just take your pry bar or your screwdriver, push against all three of them, and your mirror cap should come right off. Alright, when you guys do the clips, you gotta push a lot of force into it. It might feel like you might break it, but you won't. Just push up against it and away from it. I found it easier to be behind the mirror cap when you do it, so kind of doing it like this. That way, when you get it off, this is not gonna come and flying away from you, and well, there goes your paint. So yeah, I found it a little easier to do it from behind it and kind of pushing this way. And here are the little clips I was telling you about. There's 3 of them, and you just gotta push up and away. Yeah. This one right here might get stuck right there. So if you pull all 3 clips and it's still kind of stuck there, just be careful, because you got this 3rd one right here. So just gently kind of wiggle it out. Don't just yank it out. You might break this. It's kind of small. So now that your mirror cap is off, it's really easy to take the light off. You just kind of pull away from it. This little guy here just this little guy here just lights off, and there you go. Now you're ready to install your new lights. So your new lights, if they're LED, they're gonna have their own connector. So just take the light bulb off, you just pull it out and connect this little guy in. Alrighty, so once you've connected that, just put everything back together and you'll be good to go. Another note, just make sure you don't pull a dum-dum like I did for 10 minutes trying to make this fit on the right side when it has an L for the left side. Yeah, so this is the passenger side. Alrighty, so right before you put everything together, forgot to say this, make sure you test this. So just turn your hazards on and see if they work. Alrighty. And there we go. And the other side. Now that we know everything works, we can put it all back together. So when you put it back together, right here on the bottom, there's these three little tabs. And you just have to line it up with these holes. And once you have that, you can push it in and it should click in place. Alrighty, so we got the mirror cap back on. Now for the actual mirror itself, there's these two tabs right here and down here. Well, actually three, and down here. Just line that up with the little holes and you'll be good. And just push it in. Okay, that took a lot more force than I thought to push it back in. Make sure you're pushing from the middle so that you don't break the glass, and it's gonna require a lot of force to push that guy in there. But don't worry, as long as you push in the middle, you shouldn't break anything. Said before, just make sure that these little tabs are all lined up before you push it in. Let's see, there we go. There we go. Nice and clean. Now for the mirror, and we will be done. Oh, I forgot. Make sure you put this little guy back in here before you put the mirror back on. And there you go. Mirrors back on, caps back on, new LEDs, peel time. Hey, not too shabby. Looks really good. And I like how it don't have that crystal clear light here anymore. Looks really nice. Nice and clean. All right. Shoot me a message if you guys got any comments or questions about anything on the install. Just remember that use the power mirrors to your advantage. Rotate them out to get the headroom to put the wire through and pull it out, and so on and so on. It should take you about 40 minutes or so, depending on how good you are. and how careful you want to be so you don't break anything. And yeah, have a good one.